Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Barry. I did this project with Kelsey Watkins, and we did conflict theory. This is a very negative theory, as you guys already know, but we can use it for positive things. And what Kelsey and I did is try to put a little positive spin on this presentation. The basics of conflict theory. First of all, you won't see on the slide, but it is part of the conflict paradigm. Conflict theory is used to explain stability versus instability that occurs in a social group such as the family. It also explains what needs to happen for happiness and interpersonal bonds, which means it helps explain what is necessary in order for things to happen and things to change. It analyzes the things that are in conflict. So once you know what's in conflict, then you can change those things in your social system. Also, conflict theory relates to every single person because unfortunately, all of us have to deal with conflict at one point or another. I'm not going to read all these concepts and terms to you because we are going to go through all of them, but here are the terms and concepts that you should be familiar with. The first one on that list was competition. Spray tells us that competition is the state of negative interdependence between the elements of a social system. Now, there's also a little bit of exchange theory in here, in my opinion, because you're dealing with gains versus losses, and when there's a conflict, there's more than likely a conflict because somebody doesn't want to take the losses. They want all the gains. But when you're in competition with each other, someone has to win. Someone must lose. But does it really? In a family, once you have been in that family system for a while, you guys start to learn from each other, and you guys start to be able to compromise on things, negotiation, bargaining later, compromise on things, and be able to take the losses when you can afford them and take the gains when you can afford them, which is also exchange theory. To illustrate competition, there's a video from Star Wars where Anakin is pod racing, and a little bit of background, his pod was sabotaged before the race, and it got fixed using the Force, and then Anakin locks his speeder with the competition. So we'll go ahead and start that video. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Now, conflict is the direct confrontation between two individuals and or groups for scarce resources. So whenever there's a conflict, there's always a conflict over something that there's a scarcity of, whether that's love, an affection, or something like that. For conflict management, there needs to be three things, at least two competing perspectives, a scarce resource, which could be money, affection, power, the last brownie, anything really, toilet paper. All sides need to have access to this resource after it's all said and done for there to be conflict management. Now, so people get this mixed up, conflict resolution and conflict management are two different things. Conflict resolution happens at the end of a conflict, and conflict management is there is still a conflict and a competition for the scarce resource. But in a conflict resolution, there is no longer a competition for that scarce resource. Let's watch a video about how Rachel and Monica were fighting over a boy who's an actor, but he wasn't a very good person. And in the end, they had conflict resolution.
What are you gonna do? You give me back my sweater or a tan bag marinara? You don't have the guts. Oh, yeah? Well, at least I wasn't too chicken to tell some guy I thought he was cute. Oh!
Who can even remember why you started fighting in the first place?
She knew that I liked doing my thing, and she wouldn't have done it if you didn't know that first.
Yes, that's right. But still, look at your purse. at your sweater. Look at yourselves.
I'll help you fix your sweater. I'll help you throw out your purse.
Friends is one of my favorite shows. So, moving on to consensus. All parties see things the same way. This is an agreement of all parties and the sharing of common knowledge of issues, values, and norms. We got a little picture of people putting puzzle pieces together because they are all trying to fit together. That might also work for systems theory if you wanted to apply that to it as well, because you notice that all the parts don't equal the whole because there are other factors. Just a thought. Negotiation and bargaining. This is an exchange process that allows for all parties involved to come to an agreement. So when my wife and I, when we fight, most of the time, if not all the time, we have to come to a compromise. This is a form of negotiation and bargaining. Power. This is the ability to direct and alter certain courses of action, if not all actions. So this next video is going to be from Hunger Games. Katniss has a lot of power to direct change in the whole entire series. But in this particular clip, we notice who has the power within that certain group of kids that is in the arena to fight for their lives. Assertion and aggression. That last clip, you probably saw a lot of aggression as well, and we'll see a little bit more aggression in the next clip. And there's just a tad bit of assertion in there too, if you can pick it out. But assertion is acting in a way that affirms one's right over an object, but not necessarily at the cost of others. Aggression is the behavioral aspect of this, where you use physical means and or power to get the advantage. Kicking, biting, the whole entire hysteria and throwing hissy fits fiasco.
A Bankstown mother and daughter have been charged after a fight over toilet paper in Woolworths. The vision of the shoppers arguing with another woman went viral as supermarkets impose new purchase limits to curb coronavirus hysteria.
The fight over toilet paper that went viral around the world.
I just want one pack. No, not one pack.
Now the 60-year-old mother and her 23-year-old daughter, who were wheeling a trolley full of rolls at Woolworths Chullora, have been charged with a fray and are due in court next month.
So that video shows a lot of aggression, as you saw, and assertion. If you notice, the one lady said, "I only need one." That was very assertive. She didn't get physical at that point. And then she did get physical, which was aggression. But then another man steps in and just pulls the cart away. That's very assertive. Threats and promises. Threats are messages that tell us that there is a punishment if we do not follow through. Promises tell us there is a reward if we do come through. Have you ever heard of the phrase, "That's not a threat, that's a promise"? It doesn't make sense because a threat is negative and a promise is positive. If you are threatening somebody, then there is a punishment that is coming through. If you're making a promise, then you're rewarding. And that is all we have. But we would like to end on a happy note. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 31 through 32 says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, be forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you." In other words, let's lean on each other. Let's help each other out and come closer to God.